Well, you can hear the cacophony of raindrops battering the top of the car. This was supposed to be some drizzle earlier. And what's funny is that when we're looking at the weather radar, all of a sudden you see these anomalies that look like vortexes. How come every weather event anomaly has vortexes in there? Oddly enough, the HARP arrays operate on a vortex array of... no. Anyway, what we were reading right now, what she was reading, was where the money supposedly went to for all the homeless. And then Dr. Oz, of course, he's got to throw it in. Well, I don't blame him about the hospice waste. California is a state full of citizens, but they are not getting the fact that there's also this corrupt government in every facet, every aspect of our state, county, city, local governments are corrupt and thieving frauds. So every other marginalized group in the country gets, oh, okay, we understand, you didn't get any money, except for the homeless. Out here, they want to punish the people that stole the money, want to punish the homeless people for the fact that they got caught stealing the money. And of course, one of their ways of deferring culpability on the whole problem is they're going to claim things like $226 per night per person for hotel rooms. We stayed in some of their hotel rooms for a bit. They were no 226, even in the best of days, but they didn't cost that. They had already paid for it with the money, and so there wasn't any averaged cost. All these things have been speculated. All these hotels and everything have been speculated into private office and or dwelling situations. They've been rebuilt and sold off, and all that was a land grab, property grab, and now they want to blame the homeless people who still were out there in the cold and the wet for the fact that they did all this fraudulent property theft, larceny, physical dollars theft. I mean, so they were saying, well, where's this money? And everyone's saying, well, maybe there was some theft and fraud, but it wasn't as bad as you guys think. It was worse. It's like people saying, oh, $700 defense industry hammers. Or what? There's no hammer that fucking costs. I don't give a fuck if it's a space hammer. It ain't costing $700 for a hammer, or $500 for a toilet seat, whatever. They're certainly not bringing that kind of technology down to the common man. So, once again, the whole thing's getting turned to where the people that need the help aren't getting it. Everyone's just scrambling, running for cover. They're pointing at other people as they're trying to ditch away. And the fraud even goes to people where you would think that they wouldn't be able to have access to the money. Like, for instance, the mainstream media, Whoopi Goldberg, all these fucking assholes, even Brian Kilmeade on Fox and all, they're getting their cut. Let me tell you, they know the truth. and they're still getting paid to, if you just chatterbox it up, create this fucking media image, then all of a sudden, oh yeah, the gullible sheeple of America, just, the fucking homeless. If they were so drug addicted and crazy, how did they manage to rip off billions, hundreds of billions of dollars without, and then still maintain the facade of living on the street and being all fucked up? Would be a classic actor. If you could maintain method for, years at a time? How long have we known? Jimmy was out there, he said 40 years?
Yeah.
If you maintain it like that, then fucking kick all the Hollywood superstars away, because everybody on the street's fucking way gamer than that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. We read this shit going on, and now finally, years later, they're finally discovering it. How people can even consider Gavin Newsom, who's responsible for all of it, pretty much. Him, Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein, Adam Schiff, all these fucking scumbag left liberal Democrats are not only enriching themselves. Do you notice how with Ilhan Omar and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and all these people, and they come into these representative or senator type jobs, which make good money, except that they don't make millions, and yet they leave in not too long, maybe a decade, and they're way rich. How does that happen? So I know, and I bet that you know too. I would dare say, but when I ask that kind of a question, it's more rhetorical, like you just leave it hanging there. There's no way it happens. The only way it happens is with deliberate larceny in your heart, which makes those people felonious criminals. Why is nobody going to jail? Meanwhile, me and my beloved, say hi, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy.
Are still out here. And I know the reason why. Because we will not break. We won't give. We will not cater to what they want. We're not going to kiss their ass or tell the world, oh yeah, they're really doing something. They're not. And it goes beyond the governments. It goes down into the nonprofits, the churches, the charities.
They all want control.
They want control.
And
they all
money.
stick their hands out for big money. And it's not just the homeless and the hospice. Although people that are dying, they don't get punished. But why do the homeless people get punished? Because at the same time, they're showing the world that the money that was supposed to have been spent on the homeless didn't get spent. They're enacting legislation to punish homeless people for being poor, for needing to sleep somewhere. I don't give a shit who you are. You're going to sleep when you need to sleep. And you're going to take a piss or a shit, because when you got to go, you got to go. And if nobody will let you go, you're going to do it wherever you can. That's the bottom line. That's humans. And people think, oh, that's so filthy. You're a fucking animal. We are all animals. The fact that you guys, we're judged every day by some of the very people that put us in this situation and have kept us in this situation. This is a scam. And the federal government, if Trump really was a man, he would just say, fuck it, come rip Gavin Newsom out, render him over into Guantanamo, and take all his little pack of minions. If you really want to know what would fix America, scrape it from the bottom up. Get rid of every motherfucker, especially the police, because they just operate like regional thugs, just doing whatever kind of crap their masters ask them to do. And it don't matter how cruel or weird. It doesn't matter who they're doing it to. Babies, super old people, disabled people. They don't give a fuck. I guess nobody in this country really gives a fuck. Why, you got to ask yourself, why is there so many in California? Well, we know why. Like at least half of the fucking people out there aren't, the ones you see for the most part, I'd say 85% of the people that you see that you think are homeless, they are paid crisis actors, because the ones that are homeless are hiding. They're trying to stay unnoticed. And you're just falling for the programming that they're giving everybody. This is ridiculous. Somebody rational needs to do some critical thinking and say, wait a minute, how could these people without money be funding the cartels from Mexico? They can't. How did they steal all this money and goods? They didn't. Just about everything that you see, and I saw one the other day about old people. A 92-year-old man loses control. Well, all kinds of people lose control of their car. And he hit some people. Well, all people get hit all the time. Why bring up the one old guy? Oh, because we want to show that old people need to be taken care of. We need caretakers. We need people that will, come on. Nobody needs a caretaker.
No.
What they need is just some help.
Why don't you ask? Why don't they ask?
Yeah.
What
Here's
do
the
you
thing.
need?
They can fucking ask the people that... What do you think? The people out here don't know how to speak or tell you what? As a matter of fact, there's videos all over everywhere. What would help you? And people are eloquently, articulatedly saying this. There's no confusion. The only confusion is between the American taxpayer and where they're spending the money. That's the confusion. You guys are, I see a need over here. Let me give this shyster over here a bunch of money. Will you take care of him? The shyster says, yeah. And then you leave, and the shyster just takes the money and he leaves. And the people in need are still over there. Nobody's done a fucking thing for us. That's the bottom line. So, America needs to really kind of wake the fuck up, please.